Welcome to Sacred Strange Tarot. This is your typical pick a card reading. Your first choice is number 1, dead teddy bear. Dead teddy bear, her head comes off, she's a ghost. Second choice, Diego, with the Day of the Dead face. He's a skelly animal. And this is Sadie from Living Dead Dolls. She's a plushie. She's the tiny version. Her last name, which I personally named her last name, is Carrion. So her name is Sadie Carrion. That's my choice. So those are your choices, 1, 2, and 3. They're already pre-shuffled. So pick your reading and the timestamp will be below in the description box. And we're going to get started right away. This is number 1. And if you see notes on my cards, it's just because it's a new deck. I apologize. I'll remove it when I show the card to the camera. Today we're doing a reading on the Tower. That's the theme. I don't know exactly what it's going to be. You'll see it in the title. For your first card, because this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 5, 6, and 7. If you guys are wondering about the number. Right now you're having some negative beliefs about yourself. Maybe you're indecisive. I feel like this is more like a self-worth type thing. You're having a hard time maybe connecting the two different sides of you, the duality, the archetypal masculine, feminine, divine principles. They are, if not at war, they're kind of you're feeling them, but they're in the worst light you can take them. So there's the divine essence of each archetype, but then there's the more demonic, base, toxic, I hate that word, type example of archetypes and like archetypal energy. I just feel really a lot of heaviness. Definitely definitely a difficult in your mind. I would say this is definitely like mind and heart together are both kind of in a bad place for you. Regarding your situation, I don't feel like it's a situation though. I feel like it's an overall thing. Overall, you're having a hard time. Maybe you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish because of this. You're not manifesting, you're not getting that goal, you're not making... You know, because the Lovers always reads as choice for me. Whenever I see the Lovers, immediately I think choice. So that would like say that you have little choice, or you're feeling like you can't make a decision. But honestly, the energy I'm getting from this is You're making choices. You're just making them based on your negativity. Or not even negativity. Negativity tends to be something you get stuck in, like a mindset, like a mind loop. Oh, I'm such a whatever. This feels more like like a cornerstone of who you are, like something integral to your personality. And it's kind of fitting you would choose the teddy bear. She's forever trapped in the melancholy of lost love. That's her story. That's the story that the makers gave her when they made her. She was supposed to get married. She didn't. This looks like you're supposed to get married, but you didn't. Maybe you're suffering from low self-esteem because of a broken relationship, of a betrayal, or you failed. You failed someone or something. You failed yourself, but you're externalizing it. Yeah, so this card is talking about why I feel like maybe you have all this. It's a very positive card. It's the Magus, the Magician, upright. All right, and you have everything you have everything you need to know, or you thought you did, or maybe you've been trying to. Maybe you've become this magus in order to overcome this, and it still hasn't worked. You've become all this. You've done so much work. You've put in so much time. Maybe in order to manifest what you want to manifest, you have become the magician, the witch, the sorcerer, proficient. You become the magus. You are enlightened with all your skills. You have everything you have. And somehow this still feeding this. So I feel like maybe, not even maybe, I'm saying maybe because it could be more than one people listening, but seriously, you're manifesting what you don't want on purpose because you want it. Sometimes our fears can be so integral to our personality. They can be the core of us. They can be the basis, the root of who we are. And so when we manifest, we say, oh, I want to manifest love, money, happiness. But we're so used to who we are when we don't have what we say we want. We're so stuck in the reality of not having it, that reality is who we are, and we don't want to die. And the tower is all about death. This is a tower reading. Everyone here is talking about the tower. Everyone here is talking about a death. Maybe you don't want to die. But in order to have the things you say you want, and emotionally you feel them. Oh, I want this. I'm so possessed. I need this. And with all of your conscious mind, you know you want it. But if you do some deep work, you realize you're so afraid to have it. And so you manifest not having what you say you want. So you're manifesting your negative reality. You're manifesting your current status quo, who you've been, because You don't want to die, so you're holding on. You could say this is ego, but I believe the ego is not a bad thing. I believe the ego is what we need. It's just an expression of our individuality, of who we are as a person. And if you walk the left-hand path, you realize that the ego is necessary, that you can't really prove reality, you only can prove that you exist. Because everything else is filtered through your perception. So, ego is good. That's basically what I'm saying. I could go into more of my thought processes and beliefs about ego, but I do believe the ego is necessary and integral to being a person. And to having a healthy personality, because sometimes when you are... You become a type of person who pleases other people and tries to put other people before you. You forget yourself. You forget that you exist. And you put other people on pedestals or you vilify them instead of looking at yourself as the source. You are the source. This says you're the source. You are the magician manifesting your reality. So currently, you manifested your shit. If you watch Abraham Hicks, she talks a lot about owning it. I did this. I did that. I made that happen. Even when it's bad. Yep, I did that. Alright, so moving on to card 3. This is talking about how to ease this transition to the death that's happening, the tower moment that is inevitable. Because it's... Dude, look, you have 2... This is a tower reading, and you have 2 major arcana at the very root of it. See, this looks like a tree to me. As your roots. So, how do you ease your transition? The Queen of Swords. Think intellectually would be a good start. Try not to be too empathetic. We were talking about, I was literally just saying about people pleasing and putting other people before you in a good light or a negative light. And maybe this is time to step back from your emotions. Maybe your emotions are clouding your judgment. I'm going to show you the card so you can see it. Can you see it? Queen of Swords. So, if you look at her, the rocks are kind of barren. The clouds are really pretty. The trees have no leaves on them. She has elven ears. So she looks like an elf. Elven ears are important. If you study the connection between spirituality and mythology, elven ears are symbolic of telepathy. So telepathy can be listening to your spirit guides, listening to your higher mind. I'm hearing higher mind. Instead of listening to like love, because people often conflate the universe with love. Instead of listening to emotion, listen to the higher mind. Last night I had a dream about a machine. The entire world was a machine. Something like that. Also, communicate. You're going to want to communicate concisely with your words. To yourself, to others. I'm not really feeling right, but if you feel the need to write, to do so. Diplomacy and political astuteness. You have to learn to be decisive. Even if the decision's bad, whatever decision you make is a decision you need to make. Even if you're making technically, it looks like the wrong decision, it's the right decision. Because it will take you on a path of knowing what you don't want, so eventually you'll get to the path where you know what you do want. Kind of be detached. This will help you in your death. So if you're dying and it's terrifying, if you step back from your terror, then all you do is observe the dying self. So maybe you need to be observer. Try to stick to your morals. And I don't often like to tout the whole positive thought train, but in this instance, I think it's going to help you to think positively. Maybe don't obsessively think positively. Don't like police your thoughts until you're drowning in your own misery because it's coming up from your subconscious and oh my gosh, it's overwhelming you. Just logic your way out of negativity. That's good advice. That's the advice I have for you. We're moving on to this. This is the lesson that you're going through right now. The lesson, the reason for this death, this tower moment. And the card is, ooh, Dominion. Do you see that at the top? Dominion. 2 of Wands reversed. So, wow. Immediately what comes to mind is you're not in control. That's what immediately comes to my mind. You're not in control. And this is kind of very much like mirroring. Do you see this mirror? The lovers as a 2, twins, twin mind, duality. You have the 2 of Wands, which would be like fire, passion. Wands are fire and passion, sorry. Of 2 minds. And I don't know why I'm getting this, but if you think about the Baphomet symbol with the hands going, the 2 fingers going up, 2 fingers going down, those 2 wands look like they're doing something similar. I know he's not holding on to the wand on the left, but that's what it reminds me of. So, you're learning to let go. You're learning to let go. That's the lesson here. Let go of control over yourself. I think you have too much control over yourself. I think you're trying too hard to control your reality. Very, very similar. Look at this. You go over here. You have all the skills and you've been doing this and you've been manifesting all this and you've been manifesting, remember, you've been manifesting your shit. And you need to learn to let go. Stop trying to manifest so hard. What you're doing is you might be staving off the inevitable death, so you're in this limbo place where you're dying and it's painful the entire fucking time. It's like, oh, I have the power to heal. I'm lying here dying and bleeding on the ground. Death is inevitable, but I'm healing myself and prolonging my death so I'm in agony for hundreds of thousands of years. Metaphorically. You need to work on that. You gotta let yourself die if you're dying, okay? Or if the situation is dying, if a relationship is dying. And if a relationship is dying, let's just say you are in a relationship and it's dying. This is an example, I'm not saying you are. You are the person who is in that relationship. You are this person right now in this relationship. And if the relationship is dying, you are dying. The person you are will never be again because you are the only person you are in this moment with this person in this situation. And if it's gone, you are a different person, so you are dying. And again, with a situation, a job, a career move, a big tower moment, anything. You are dying. Let yourself go. It's okay to change. Going back to the whole change, when I look at this card, I think change, you're having a hard time changing. Okay, so for the last 3 cards, I used the Demon Tarot. I thought demons were appropriate for tower moments. I'm going to look at card number 5. And forgive me if I have to look up the meaning. Yeah. Okay, I get it now. First, card number 5 is about release. You have Alocur, is a Duke of Hell with 36 military units. You know this thing, these little captions mean nothing really. He appears on a knight riding an enormous steed. His face is like a lion. Ooh, lion. With a ruddy complexion and fiery eyes. Lions remind me of Leo. Lions remind me of Gemini for some reason. I always conflate Gemini and lions together. Lions are bravery. Okay, I think this is about... Let me just look this up really quick. I can't read my notes. Sorry. Picture the cliche of the large, powerful general with a booming voice, a body sense of humor, and permanently red cheeks. Okay, so going back to the whole Queen of Swords, Viking warlord, knowledge of astronomy, to guide his armies, love of the arts. Very, very Gemini, which is the whole Lover's card. Very Gemini, of two minds. Logical, can be very, very logical, very sword-like energy. Focus on the liberal sciences, charting, observation. So that the whole need to control thing goes back to this card. It's a very, 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 very straightforward message. You need to release the need to control. It's going back to that. Okay? Sorry. You need to release this need to control. That's what he's saying. Be the observer. Step back. Step away from your emotions. Be the general. Let things play out. Or be the magician. Magicians can be very logic-minded too. They marry emotion, the heart center, with the mind. In a good way, in a way that actually accomplishes things. But right now it's telling you to lean more towards the intellectual side. Step back from being so emotional. Okay. Card number 6 is about rethinking. Wow. We have Kali. I wasn't expecting that. Kali is about Kali. Kali also spelled Kali. Kali also sometimes conflated as Kali Ma. Kali Ma is more of a motherly version, in my opinion. In this deck, she looks very, very different than she's depicted in other mythology, but I love Kali. She's amazing. She's a goddess of death. In fact, she's here because the little Sadie doll, she's possessing little Sadie doll. Forgive me, I'm just looking up what they say about Kali. I know Kali, I just want to make sure the book's information matches up or adds anything. There it is. I keep forgetting the spelling. Alright, okay. Rethink. Beware of judging powerful women harshly. The advice is beware of judging powerful women harshly. However, it's in the reverse. So maybe... I feel like the advice would be somewhat reversed. I think it means beware of taking a person's strength, a female person probably, their appearance of strength as their personality. So, if you're applying this to yourself, if you're a female person, or if you're lost in some female energies right now, I think that would be, I would think that'd be about, this situation. You think about being so powerful, but having the hidden fears that are undermining your manifestations. But that's like a more esoteric take on the card. I really think it's about death. And reversed, I mean, Kali's all about death, but I think reversed is about letting death happen peacefully, not fighting it. So again, rethink what you're doing. You're trying so hard to hold on to something or to manifest something, and what you're doing is it's prolonging your torment. The death is not peaceful. The situation ending is not mutual. We're going to come back to that probably. I'm going to have some more opinions. To rebuild. Can you see this? Okay. You have Ouroboros. You can pause it and read the description. I'm going to read a little bit maybe. Ouroboros is a prince of hell who never lies. His true form is that of a horse, but he may manifest in human shape when summoned. There are 20 military units under his command. He never lies, but he's in the reverse. This is about rebuilding. He never lies. Ouroboros. I wonder if that's connected to Ouroboros. Ah, yeah. Well, it's good advice in the upright. Focus on honesty with yourself and others. In the reverse, maybe you're maybe you're lying to yourself a little bit, or not lying. Maybe you just can't see the truth because you're so focused on what you want to create. Sometimes when we're creating something, we have to change our reality. So changing our reality requires telling a new story, and sometimes that story directly contradicting the real world looks like a lie. So if you're so focused on creating something new, which is different from your reality, which is like a lie, then you're not focused on the opposite direction where the truth actually lies. So you're going right instead of going left. Always go left, in my opinion. Especially if you're walking the left-hand path, always go left. Always, and I really believe in full disclosure and honesty with oneself. Even if we don't tell other people, you have to know your shit. You have to figure out why you're doing things. Otherwise, you're going to end up manifesting bullshit. Just like here with the Magician and the reversed Lovers card. You're going to bring about what you don't want, or what you think you don't want because it's in your subconscious. You don't know the truth of yourself. Know thyself. That's the whole point of ascension and enlightenment, and walking the left-hand path, and walking any path. If you're walking the right-hand path and you're going towards a God type figure or ideation or ideology or belief, you're going towards God, which is conflated with truth. Okay, so whichever path you're walking, you're trying to find the truth of the universe, the truth of life and death, the truth of yourself. Always, always search out truth. Even if the truth is hidden and secret and you keep it hidden and secret to yourself, that's okay. Do that. But know yourself. Alright, we're done with you. We're done with you. If you liked that reading, please comment. I would love to read your comment. And do with the information what you will. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope to see you again. Alright. Reading number 2. This is your reading. If you chose Diego with the Day of the Dead face, little Diego bat from Skelly Animals. Skelly Animals. He's so adorable. I've had him for years. He was given to me on Valentine's Day one year. Alright, so if you chose him, this is your reading number 2. Your number 2. If there are notes on my cards, forgive me, it's a brand new deck. I'm still learning it. Okay, this is card number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we're doing, I'm sure you know, we're doing the Tower Tarot spread. This is about your tower moment. Whatever's going on in your life that's a tower moment. If you're pulled to this reading, you probably have one. It's probably taking up your full focus. I want to see what is being challenged right now for you. What foundational beliefs, principles, or structures are being challenged in your life? That's card number 1. The Star. Something about hope. Something about manifesting. Manifesting hope or dreams or desire. Hold on. Sorry. Maybe you're learning to hope. Oh, okay. With the reverse sun. I always like the sun reversed. I always find the meanings very interesting. Maybe you're learning to use your intuition. What's being challenged, though? That's the question. I'm seeing lots of water energy in this card. And a crow. I think your old ways of doing things are kind of being shaken up. Like your emotional patterns, the way you approach life, the way you approach things, are kind of being changed, and you're learning to be more the strategic mind, or you're listening to your strategic mind a little bit more. For the first card in a tower reading, it's very interesting to have the Star be the being what's changing in your tower moment. You could have had, I feel very hopeful. I feel this card feels very, very positive. So this is a good change for you. You're not like being disillusioned or anything. You're being turned towards what hope is. No, sorry, I'm trying to get it. You're being turned towards what. Do you remember the Little Mermaid? You remember the Little Mermaid? And Ursula had that shell right there. And you see a mermaid and you see a shell. First of all, spirals are just great all around. And then you have a star. And you have fish. But I mean, this could be about using your voice, and not in your typical story type way, but I'm talking about, or in a standing up for yourself way. This is more like using your voice to abracadabra. I speak what I create. Only in this way, I'm feeling it's more like I sing what I create. My passion creates. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling like whatever I use my voice for, and the more I'm in that energy of divinity, of the moment, of transcendence, while I'm using that voice, I create more, I create better, I actually create reality when I'm in that space, using my voice in that space. Maybe I don't feel like you're a singer. I feel like you're using your voice to create your reality. I feel like your voice is actually getting thrown out into the universe. I'm seeing it thrown out into the universe, into the space, into the darkness between the stars. And it's literally creating everything. And you have the Sun card telling us why. And it kind of really kind of emphasizes that. A star is a sun is a star. You have the Sun reversed. Could make it less powerful. Could mean it's more like an earthly thing. You're actually physically manifesting things. Reversed energy. I'm sorry if I think aloud and you don't catch my thought pattern train. Sorry. Again, stars though. Look at this card. The card has the zodiac sign in a circle. Okay? You have earth, air, fire, and water as the tree roots holding up those signs, and then you have all the zodiac signs in a spiral. The zodiac signs are indicative of stars and planets up in the sky. Wow. Lots of universal energy going on. Maybe you're learning how to harness the universe, use your intuition. No, sorry, it's not use your intuition. It is the act of creation with yourself as. So it's like the reverse of intuition. Instead of listening and acting on what you hear, it's throwing your voice out and into the universe to be created so someone else can hear. Maybe you're learning how to be heard through your passion, through your power. Sun is center, sun is solar plexus, sun is your will center, so you're using your will to create. Sorry if I moved the camera. Using your will to create, using your voice to create. I feel like I'm losing my voice just telling you about it. Okay, really nice energy. Very, very bright, light energy. And that the lightness is kind of emphasized by all the darkness all around. I know I have a black table, and that's why I'm getting lots of darkness in the image. But I feel like this energy is not like right hand path, God type, positive light worker energy. This is more like the lightness, the light energy that you would use in I don't know how to explain it. Just know that it's not light worker stuff, okay? Don't get too caught up in the darkness being bad or the shadow being bad or whatever, okay? It's not bad. And this is be able to harness that light energy and use it from a place of being in the shadow. So if you look at the shadow, if you look at the darkness, it's within you. We are the darkness, we are ourselves, and we project out into the world. The light, what is light, is just what its attention is on. So the universe lights up what we see, like a flashlight, and that is what light is. And the darkness is the unknown. So everything that you are that is unknown is being lit up now. You're showing attention to it, and you're showing attention to the right things. You're showing attention to your passion, to your wishes, your hopes, and your love. Your loves. Not your love as in your emotion, but your loves as in the things that feed you, or that you feed through your interest. That's a better way to express it. Okay, so what's dying is, I know I talked really positively, but what's dying is all the stuff that you don't do that's not this. Okay? So typically you don't do this stuff. Typically you probably wallow a lot in your darknesses. You probably wallow a lot. You probably wish and dream and daydream and fantasize instead of actually creating. Yeah, you do that a lot. That's what's dying right now. What's dying is your lack of action. It's that person, that personality part of you that doesn't want to do shit, that just continues to let the status quo exist. And that can be really, really painful. If you're used to being stuck in a rut, if you're used to just letting things hit you and reacting instead of creating in what you want, or just choosing, making decisions and choosing. I hear the word choosing really strongly. Yeah, that can be difficult to let go of being that person. It can feel like losing yourself, losing half yourself or more of half yourself, because it's hard to sit there and say, oh, if I take this action and take this action and take this action, life will actually get better. But then you have to face the fact that life will actually get better. It might get worse. There's a fear right there. Or it could get better, and there's a fear of change and the fear of, oh, what if it's better? What if I lose it? Okay, so taking action can sometimes be the hardest thing in the world. How can you ease this transition, this death, this tower moment? Princess of Swords. Okay. This is calling you to let go of shame. And as we grow up and become adults, we kind of accrue all these wounds from trauma and things happening, and we collect our pains. And sometimes the whole of the collective becomes our personality, or a fracture of our personality, and that fracture is shame, guilt, and if it's large enough, if you collect enough, it can become an identity of self-disgust. And this is a call to let it go to release it and to find that space you were in when you were a child and you acted without thought. It's very similar to Fool energy, this card right here, where you're being reversed. I'm feeling like this is very similar to the Fool. Childlike innocence. It's a call back to innocence. So, it's very reminiscent of the Star card. If you learn to look at things from the not childish, but childlike mind, the innocent mind, the mind that sees possibilities, sees everything as possibility. You know how children will just say, oh, what if this magically happened? It's so adorable. But I remember saying that, and I never grew out of it. It makes it really, really easy to visualize. It makes it easy to daydream. And it makes it easy to do tarot. Because you can easily say, oh, what if this card means this? These clouds look like that. And then jump off that illustration and find a meaning into it. And that's how you use your intuition. So the shamanic idea of imagination is that it's the gateway, the entryway into the astral plane, into the spirit world, into the spirit realm. If you're doing spirit journeys, you'll realize when you're sitting there and you're meditating and you're doing a guided meditation on yourself and you're sitting there imagining going off and doing this and doing that, and then eventually you become in this dreaming state where you're in the astral plane. You transition from using your imagination into the imagination taking over. And you could say it's your psyche if you're a scientific minded person and you're not spiritual. If you want to look at it logically, you can say, oh, it's my subconscious, it's my dreaming mind using symbology to explain my world. Okay, that's fine, just do that. But it still works. You need to get into the space where your intuition speaks to you and you allow it through your imagination, through that childlike, innocent mind that lets reality be anything, and thus it becomes. And there's always the converse to everything. So there's always the yin and the yang, and there's always the negative side. So just be aware. Don't act too childlike, impulsive. Okay. So, good child energy would be allowing your mind to see possibilities, but don't get lost in childlike behavior. Okay, this is about the lesson. This is about the lesson for this tower moment. What is the lesson? It's about success. Sixes. Yeah, this is about a wake-up call. Like you've been in denial about something a little bit. Maybe not denial. Maybe this is like forced denial, willful denial. You're ignoring something on purpose. This is also about you've been wanting something that when you get it, you it's gonna be kind of like careful what you wish for type moment. Two-sided, both good and bad. So the wake up call is to realize, really look at what you want, really look at what you're manifesting, what you've been manifesting. I feel like this is talking about the past. The wake up call, the reason for this tower moment is that you have been lost in the past, lost in the past, in the future. So you know when you sit and you ruminate and you so are worried about things that happened in the past, you try to create them in the future, and you're sitting there trying to create your future by focusing on the past, so you're never in the present. Okay, so that's what you've been doing. if you can follow that, try. But you've been doing that. And this is happening right now. So this is that, and then this is happening right now in your present. This is going to be your future. This is going towards your future. This is talking about your past. This is also talking about taking back your real power. So your real power doesn't lie in trying to prevent what happened in the past from happening in the future. It's not trying to get your needs met. Okay? It's not trying so hard to manifest what you want, to get that coin, to work that hard. That's not what this is. This is also about manifestation. I'm talking a lot about Abraham Hicks today, but if you listen to her, and talks a lot about, a lot of people talk about what it feels like to manifest. So people come up and they're and she's guiding them on how to manifest and how to use the law of attraction. And what does it feel like? It feels like reaching for the horizon. It feels like a breath of fresh air. It feels like passion. It feels like excitement. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it feels like for you, okay? What it feels like for me, I mean, I could go on. What it feels like for me is, it feels like wind shooting from me towards the horizon. That's when I think of manifestation, that's what it feels like for me personally. People feel differently, and she talks differently about it, and she gets very excited. But it's not ruminating. Manifestation is not ruminating. Manifestation is not dwelling on the past. Manifestation is not worry. It's not obsessive. It's what you've been doing. That's what you've been doing. You cannot create success. You cannot create worry. You cannot create money. You cannot create manifest. You cannot have love from the lack of that place. Of the lack of having that. Okay? So that's what all of this is about. This is about putting yourself in the mindset of the child who sees possibility in everything. The child doesn't see the past. The child doesn't see the future. The child sees possibilities of everything and doesn't hold on to any of them. And so one of them ends up manifesting into magic. The child sees magic in the world. The child sees fairies. The child sees dragons in the clouds. If you want to have what you want, you gotta stop holding so tightly to not having it. And if you do that, you will have success. The cards say so. Okay, card 5 is about release. You have Agaris. Agaris was once a member of the Angelic Order of Virtues, and is now the Grand Duke of the Eastern region of Hell. Oh, goodness. He's also on an alligator or a crocodile. I can't tell the difference. You see him? He's kind of got a string around its jaw, like he's controlling it. Oh, but it's reversed, so maybe he's not controlling it? Or maybe it's controlling him? We'll see. Let's look at I have to look at the book because I haven't looked at that card yet. Okay, this continues on this card. You see this card? We're talking about it. Can you see? Okay. So the zodiac signs, it says, Icarus is one of the virtues, angels who kept the stars and planets spinning along correct orbits and gave order to the heavens until he fell from grace. By all accounts, he is still a gentle demon who appears as a kindly older gentleman riding a crocodile. He is able to call runaways home and military deserters home and causes enemies and other unwanted elements to flee. He finds missing people. He carries a sparrow hawk with sharp eyes and a hunter's instinct. He's a master of languages and delights in teaching those who summon him. Of course, the ability to speak to enemies and strangers in their native tongue would be useful skill for setting people on the right path. He's not terribly demonic. The divination is focused on direction, guidance, bringing allies and helpful items closer and pushing enemies and destructive influences away. But it's reversed, so... And this is about releasing suspicion. It's about releasing suspicion. It's about releasing this... You know how people talk a lot, but they don't say anything? Yeah, I think this is about releasing that zilch of information that one does when they're too anxious, and they just spew word vomit all over everything, and thus say nothing. So they talk a lot, but say nothing. Verbose, long-winded. So, needing to release, maybe to be more concise in your speaking, concise in your thoughts, choosing better words, editing. Kill your loves. If you're a writer, you understand what that means. Kill your loves, okay? Don't be so married and in love with the written word. With your words, with what you say, try to be more deliberate. When we manifest, the universe likes really deliberate words. It doesn't even matter if the grammar is correct. Be very, very deliberate. So when you're writing a sigil, you write down, I have blah, or I want blah. Usually you say I have it, so the universe believes you have it already. And then you take out the consonants, and then you turn it into a pretty design. And you probably go through several editing moments where you're, oh, this F looks also like a T, so I'll just consider it a T, and etc., etc. Okay? So if you've created sigils before, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, though, then go do it. It's fun. So when we consolidate our words, when we consolidate a concept, an idea, into the symbol of it, it's easier to manifest, it's easier to charge with our energy, and it's easier for the universe to read and understand what we want. So instead of sitting there and writing a book to tell the universe that you want to have a new love life, and instead you need to be really, really concise and say, I have a really awesome love life. Or say, I have love. And then when you meditate, you know how when you meditate and you're and you get to this point where you actually enter into the deeper meditation and your thoughts kind of separate and the words kind of elongate and the spaces between the words kind of get bigger and bigger, and you're just lost in the spaces in between the words and you forget to talk. That's what the universe is. That's what creation is. That's the I am, that is the space between the I am, that is what you really are. That is the truth, that is the very definition of everything. That's what I'm talking about. You don't actually need words. I've been in meditation so deep where I forgot how to use language. It's not necessary. It's a man-made construct, and it's useful. We need to have a language in order to reason and think and grow and become. But once you've mastered a skill, there's always somewhere else to go, and it's usually up. So getting to the point where you learn so much about words that you can let them go, it's a wonderful place to be. Wonderful place to be. I'm not sure which one was next. I'm not sure which one was next. Was this one next or is this one next? Okay, you have Abraxas. We're gonna call this one next. Rethink number 6. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry, but it's not like I can pause the video and rewind and look at it. Okay. Did you just hear what I was talking about? Did you just hear what I was talking about? I was talking about abracadabra. I even mentioned it in pile 1 about speaking what you create. Abraxas is an ancient god whose name gives us the mystical word abracadabra, which is I speak what I create. The demonographers made him into a demon with the head of a snake and a head of a king and snakes instead of feet. That sounds really painful. Poor Abraxas. Okay, so he has the ability to speak truth and lies. He governs the year, 365 days, and it's talking about the word is the same act as my notes. I know what it means. It means speaking what you create. We can go look at his. I'm getting a little tired, so lots of energy flowing, so it's kind of wiping out my concentration. Beware of lies, of omission, and hidden truths. That's the divination. Abraxas begetteth truth and lying, good and evil, light and darkness, in the same word and in the same act. Wherefore is Abraxas terrible. When we hear the word abracadabra, some of us look for the magic, while others look for the sleight of hand. A talented stage magician tells an unbelievable truth with a lie of omission. You can believe that a rabbit is about to be pulled from a hat. The secret is the hat is not an ordinary one. So rethink, I would say rethink your reality. The divination seems pretty obvious, but I think there's more to it. I think it's talking about focusing on what you would perceive as the lie. In this instance, where is the lie for you in this tower moment? And you need to focus on that and maybe embrace it. I'm just going with what I'm focusing on right now. I'm like really out of it all of a sudden. I'm not even sure why. I think all this energy from your reading just threw me out of it. Yeah, I really think you need to focus on truth in the darkness, truth in the shadows, the truth that other people can't see, the omission, truth as a lie. Truth is the lie. For some reason, they both feel like the same thing. They don't feel like there's a difference between them. If you're getting what I'm saying, then great. If not, I'm really sorry. I don't know why all of a sudden the energy made me so freaking, like, ungrounded. I think I need to ground or something. Okay, for number 7, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Cacrinolas. I'm probably butchering that word. He looks like a dog with bird wings. He's cute. Cacrinolas. Also, Glacia labolas. Yeah, manifests as a winged dog. Secrets of the mind. Deepest knowledge. That explains why I'm so fucking out of it all of a sudden. That's why we're talking about Abraxas. Abraxas is the emission. In this instance, in this reading, I'm not saying that's what he always is. Sometimes he focuses on truth. Right now, I'm focusing him on as the emission. That is the truth. The emission is the truth. You need to look at that. And the secrets of the mind, the deepest knowledge. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the truth is in the emission, in the darkness, in the unknown. You need to go there. Focus on the secrets of others, but beware. Something. Let me read it. I can't read my own handwriting. My apologies. I never get like this when I'm reading tarot. It's so... Okay, right. So, if you're working with magic, if you're working with divination, if you're working with tarot, if you are just using your mind, and you learn things about other people, try to sit on the instinct to use that information. That's what this is talking about. Or other people may use that information about you. Yeah, other people might use that information, secret information, divine information. They might be able to study you and observe you and figure you out, and they might use it against you. So you need to seek deeper wisdom, but beware of your secrets being used against you. So live in honesty. Sorry, don't live in honesty. That's the wrong phrase. Live in the reality and the truths you can stand come to light. Okay? Even if they're false. As long as you can stand having other people see them, that's what you should exist in. Kind of went way off from the reading, that information. I hope it resonated. I don't know where my brain went. It went off into outer space, I think. My apologies. So definitely lots of air energy for you. I know that's a pentacle, but I feel so much air energy that I feel like I need to pause the video and ground myself. Maybe you need to ground yourself. Go running. Go do something physical. Focus on some coin. Do something. I don't know. Maybe I need to do that. Alright. That was your reading number 2. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please comment if you liked it and do with that information what you will. And we're moving on to reading number 3 because I really need to move on. Reading number 3. If you chose Sadie, I think I mentioned it in one of the other readings. I mentioned it in the last reading. This doll is possessed by a collie. Just letting you know. That's why she's always on my altar. She is the physical representation of a death goddess. This reading is the Tower Tarot spread reading. I thought it'd be interesting to study a tower moment, your tower moment, whatever is going on in your life that's huge and oppressive and kind of the only thing you can see. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5, 6, and 7. If there are notes on my cards, there aren't any on yours. This is a brand new deck, so I'm going to have to refer to the book. My apologies. Okay, number 1. The Moon. This card is about What foundational beliefs, principles, and structures are being challenged in your life because of this tower moment? What is your dying? The tower moment is all about death. Change and death. Death of who you are right now. So, and this is why. So, what is changing? I know what's changing. For you, wow. Do you remember The Princess Bride? The movie? I don't know why. Look at this pretty card. For some reason, I'm getting vibes of the whimsical, negative scenes, the dire scenes, like the one with the big rats and the one in the dungeon of torture. Just like whimsical problem scenes. Yeah, just getting like that. So like fairy tale-esque, whimsical kind of storytelling, like feel of problems. Death energy is definitely here. You have Anubis in this card. And the moon. That moon looks like it has armor. Look at that. You see the moon? It looks like it has armor. And there's a tower in here too. You see the tower? There's a tower. There's two towers. Two towers. This one looks like it has a gun pointed at the other tower. Let's see. There's dragons or dogs or dragon dogs in a bog. And lots of skeletons. And goodness, this card looks like someone warmed over death and had it bubble up to the surface. Okay, I see this. Maybe this is your subconscious mind. Maybe this is all the razor edges of your thoughts, and they're sitting there and attacking you, and they're saying all these negative things about your reality, about what could be happening, about good things in your life, about potential. So suspicion, a suspicious mind, a negative mind, a mind that attacks you. Saying, oh, you're so disillusioned, you don't know what's going on, you don't know the truth. And this is kind of similar, because I always read the reversed, look at this. What did I just say? So, truce, reversed, no truce. I always read this as, when it's upright, the Four of Swords, she is trying to go within to use this sword, and she's putting a whole bunch of restful, peaceful energy into this sword so she can come up and use it to help negate these swords that are threatening her or threatening him. But when it's reversed, she can't get to her mind. She can't get to... I don't even know if you can see if I'm pointing at you, if you can see anything, because it's out of the thing. She can't get to this sword. She can't get to these skills that she's feeding with all her energy. So, this card can sometimes be about waking up or not being able to rest. So maybe you can't sleep very well. Maybe you're having nightmares. Is that your tower moment? A nightmarish reality. Your nightmares have become reality. What you fear has come to pass. Ooh, that's deep. Okay. So what's being shattered is your belief that so sometimes we fear something so much, or conversely, we want something so much, but when it actually happens, we're like, oh my god, I just can't believe that happened. Did that really happen? That didn't happen. I can't believe that happened. You know? And it could be bad or good. Like, you just lost your leg. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm in denial. Or you just fell in love. Oh my God, I can't believe I met that person. She's perfect. You understand? So, tower moments can also be falling in love. Be aware of that. So this could be a good reading for you. All these negative fears. I know it looks so negative. And I even referenced a love story. But for me, I'm feeling like this is so positive. I don't know why. It's like I feel like all these razor sharp edges and these things are so necessary. You know how you can read a really boring or watch a really boring fairy tale? You know, one of those epic journeys where the hero sets off on a journey and he goes through all the motions and he collects some companions and they do something and they win the day or whatever? Well, sometimes those stories are amazing, like in Lord of the Rings. And sometimes they're really terrible. Fantasy stories that are like B or C movies. But what they needed was a whole bunch of danger. And the hero needed to be threatened. And your hero on this hero's journey really needs to go through a whole bunch of change and growth. And he needed to meet his demons. There needed to be demons to meet. He needed to, face all these things. I'm remembering the never-ending story and all that whole the whole deal with the almost with losing his horse. You know how he lost his horse? It was so sad. I'm just feeling really childhood hero journey type stories in this, and it's good. That's what makes a good story. To have those scary moments, to have those losses, to have the sadness, to have the growth, to have all the negativity, to have the nightmares and the demons. You need them. Okay? You need your nightmares. And this, I really feel strongly, the moon is armored. Your moon is armored. Can you even see what I'm talking about? I hope you can. Your moon is armored. You have what you need to protect yourself. Maybe you're trying too hard to protect yourself, but I feel like it's necessary. The armor is good for you because you have all this negativity, you have all these demons, you have all this growth, these negative situations which are going to grow you. They're meant to grow you. It's important, okay? Some of your belief systems are going to weather this storm. Some of your beliefs are going to continue and see you through and will be stronger because of it. Some of them are going to die and be lost. Okay? The right parts of you are going to be saved and continue to be your strength and your core. The ones that are weaker are going to be lost and probably get sucked up into this bog. You see death energy, you see Anubis. You've got 2 Anubises. You've got 2 towers. You have the Ankh. 2 Ankhs. I feel lots and lots of... You have 2 dragon dog things. Goodness. I feel so much in this card for you. And it's like good badness. I'm sorry. My brain is kind of scattered because of the last reading. Good badness. It's good and bad. It's badness for you to be good. Now, to have good, to have a growth, to move on. It's like maybe when she went to sleep, this is her dream. And she woke up better for it. You know those movies / stories where you read the whole thing and it's this epic journey and then at the end they wake up and it was all a dream? Wow. I don't know about you, but dreams tend to fade. Sometimes they linger for a few days if they were really strong, but they don't always alter our personality. And so those stories can, and those movies can feel like a ripoff because nothing changed. There was no growth that was permanent. It only looked like there was. And that's not what you need. You need real permanent growth and change. And that's what this card upright usually is. So if this is a nightmare for you, you can feel safe in the fact that you're going to wake up and it's going to all fade away. So if you're really concerned about everything going wrong right now, know that it's not permanent and it's going to fade. But I feel really strongly that this is good for you. It's really good that it's happened in the real world. It's really good that your nightmare has been made reality. You really need to face these things, to see these sharp aspects of yourself, to cut yourself on them, stab yourself on them, be impaled. I'm going to show you something. Look at these trees. Look at these trees right there. Most of this card is yellow, and so it's black and this yellow off color. These trees right here have red on them, like someone was impaled on them. Do you see? That's crazy. So, go cut yourself on your own sharp, negative points. Okay? You know how when we have wounds, like say we have something inside us and something happens that's traumatic and it breaks and you're left with this sharp point that keeps hurting you whenever you touch it, like a loose tooth? Go impale yourself on it. You might find the truth in the act, in the blood that spilled, in what it is. Because anything you see in your mind is another version of you. So if you see a sword in your head, it's you. Okay? If you see a sharp spike or a crystal that's sheared off or something, everything is you. That's what this card's all about. This card is about everything being her, and she's asleep, dreaming of this negative thing. Look at this. Look at this. She mirrors the moon. She is the moon. And she has a sword to protect her like this armor. Beautiful, beautiful symmetry. And she is being threatened by this 3 here. 3 swords, they're threatening her. So, not a truce. Okay. Okay. My battery is running low. We have to hurry this up. Okay. So, card 3 is how can you ease this transition, this tower moment that's happening for you. I love this card in this deck. This is the Azathoth Tarot. One of my favorite decks. And in this deck, this woman seems to be getting down with her demons. She looks like she's toasting them. She's all wrapped up in them a little bit, but I think she's in perfect control. This is the Strength card, so she's in control of them. And they're there chilling with her. She's having a drink with them. I really feel like this card mirrors this, what I was talking about. You really need to go have a drink with your demons. Okay? Go cut yourself on all those sharp points inside. Go visit your wounds. Have tea with them. Or blood, or whatever. Okay? You need to go explore those sharp, desperate points of yourself. Because demons can be demons, or demons can be like psychic, symbolic aspects of our brokenness, of our wounds, of the shattered aspects of ourselves, of the villain versions of ourselves, the selves that sit there and cackle maniacally as they ruin our lives. Okay? I see nothing wrong with demons. Not a single thing wrong with them. You need them. They are you. They become you. You become them. It's a cycle. Look at this. You see the background of this card? little swirls. I don't know if you can see it. Little swirls in the background. They look like fingerprints. These are your fingerprints. And spirals. Spirals of the universe. Spirals are creation. So you create your own demons. You created them already. They create you too. So once you create them, they create you. I literally had a dream about this last night. About creating a villain in order to create a hero. I dreamed, I don't even know if you care, but it really does kind of go in line with what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're always the hero in our epic journey, in our epic hero's journey, our little YA novel or never-ending story. But we're also the villain, okay? We're also the best friend and the wise man. We are everything. And the Strength card talks about that. It's not about being in control of yourself. It's about owning other things as yourself. Know that they are you. Okay. What is the lesson? I'm sorry, I laughed. Okay. What is the lesson in your tower moment? In this tower moment of yours that you're having? This is your tower tarot spread. What is the lesson? The lesson is death. I'm sorry. You have Kali as the pile you picked. It's a tarot tower spread, and you pick death as the lesson. Death can be changed. Death can be dying. Death can be death. I just love the death card. I'm sorry. Death is one of my favorite things. It's just so. It feels like home for me. Like. I'm using the word like too much. I'm gothic, by the way, so of course I like the death card. I see like little bat steampunk monsters flying in the sky and this beautiful weird horse. And you have Death and his little scythe. So the lesson is major transformation. I think it's about embracing transformation. Embracing death. Embrace it as yourself. Embrace that you are the change. You are this death figure holding the scythe. Okay? You kill yourself, you kill others, you kill your reality, you kill your traumas and your pains. Everything ends, even pain, even trauma. All of the good ends, which is what we usually mourn, but all of the bad ends too. And it's good to embrace everything as yourself. It's so good. The moon is talking about that. There's little tiny moons. Little tiny, can you see that? I'm sorry, this is a new setup. So you see the moons? Little tiny moons in that pillar. And then you have the moon and he's armored. So much beautiful symbology. Synchronicity. Synchronizing. Symbolism. Sorry, I'm looking for the right S word. Neither of those. Synonym. It means all of those, but it's none of those. Anyway, so you are death. Oh look, we even have the boat of Sharon on the river Styx. Going towards another two. You see a two right there? Two of union, two of unity, two of duality. There's a sun behind it, going up this beautiful mountain. Mountains, for me, feel like climbing that mountain Remember there was a mountain in the devil card of the original tarot. I always feel like there's a mountain and the devil's at the top and you have to climb the mountain to get to the other side. Oh look, remember I was talking about like shards of yourself? There's some mountains, they look like crystals. You could cut yourself on those mountains. And then there's some demons, but your demons all died. You see all of them, they're all in their skeletons. They look like they all died. Everything died. This dude, he's lying dead. This dude is lying dead. He has a little bindi on the center of his forehead. That's so interesting. So even with our intuition, our bodies still die. It's so beautiful. I'm sorry, but your reading fills me with a lot of hope for some reason. Maybe hope is the wrong word. I feel so much beautiful energy in your reading. It's death energy. It's dark. It's shadow, and it's like facing yourself. It's like you're sitting there and you're facing yourself and you're looking yourself directly in the face, square in the face, and there's no more lies and there's no more provocation. Okay? And there's no more running away. It's so beautiful. I love someone who sits there and faces their bullshit. Okay, we're moving on. Because I literally feel like I'm talking about nonsense. Amon, possibly related to the Egyptian Amun, or Amun, is fire-breathing Marquis of Hell. He's the body and teeth of a wolf, the tail of a serpent, the head of an owl. Goodness, he's really busy, isn't he? Amon. Where is the A's? All right. It's reversed. The divination for an upright is focus on repairing relationships that have drifted apart through differences and finding common ground. This is Amun-Ra. Amun, a local patron god. He embodies the air element of air. So that's wonderful. That's communication. That's logical thought. God of winds also breathes fire. Able to reconcile friends who have fallen apart. Maybe after all, the excuse for severed friendship is very often we're different people now. So when it's reversed, I feel like maybe it means you owning who you are. You owning yourself. You are this person, and that's good. This is you, and you're so solid in your own identity that you don't worry about your severed relationships and the people who fell away because you were looking for yourself. Okay? You need you. You need you. This is you. You found yourself. You went in, you looked at yourself, you found the strength, and you owned what you are and your lessons. Your lessons were all about death. You found the strength to embrace who you are. You went through your hero's journey and you shattered yourself on your own broken bits, on your own sword, which was also you, on your own truths, on your own lies, on your own illusions, like enlightenment. You went within, but you stayed conscious while you did go within. So this is also like lucid dreaming in a way, only through meditation. And so now you don't need to go mend anything. There's nothing to mend. You don't need to apologize for who you are. This is you. You did it. You faced yourself. You became yourself. You do not have to apologize to anyone for being you. For your tower moment created you, made you, revealed you. It killed everything that wasn't you. All those weak parts of yourself, the soft ones that apologized and tried to be for someone else, tried to be what others wanted, tried to put on a fake mask, a facade, an illusion. It's gone now. You are revealed in your absolute strength. At the core of you, the darkest part of you, that is you. And that's good. Be the darkness. Be the part that cannot die. The darkness cannot die. Okay? Even if you shine a light in the darkness, once the light is gone, it's still dark. The darkness was there first. The darkness is the unknown. There's always things that are unknown. It is always you. You are always there. And so you do not need to pretend to be something else so you can be happy and content with another person or other people or a situation. Daemon is an old sailor's tale of questionable veracity. She wears a crown and has 4 horns and 4 teeth. Her hands are strong and clawed. Her legs are like those of a rooster. It's reversed. So, upright, that's what it looks like. Daemon. Reversed, though. This is what you need to rethink. Daemon. The divination for it upright is beware of misinformation through the telephone game, gossip, and rumors passed through many sources until original facts are completely lost. The Daemon may or may not exist. She may or may not be a demon or a goddess or an idol. Colin Duplancy claims Daemon was a demon masquerading as a goddess in Calicut. That information seems to have been taken entirely from a very brief account published in 1503 by the Italian traveler Ludovico di Varthema of a god called Nemo, added to some supplemental and conflicting accounts by the sailors and a fair bit of Colin Duplancy's own imagination. Other demonologists have attempted to connect Colin Duplancy with Daemon, Colin Duplancy's Daemon with Hindu goddess Durga. Beware of misinformation. Okay, it's reversed. So I would say listen to your gut. Listen to rumor and gossip. If people are talking about something, if a lot of people are talking about something, something happened. And it's very possible that the negative rumors are true. Okay? So you need to rethink what your plans were regarding maybe another person, maybe a relationship, maybe other people in general or a situation. You found yourself. Now be in your strength and your own secure self to know that what you were thinking, what the rumors were about something is true. Use your intuition. It's right. You are right, okay? It's talking about how you are right. And what you need to rebuild is Berith. Berith, Lord of the Covenant, is a Duke of Hell. Demonographers describe him as a soldier riding a red steed. Red is the root chakra. Maybe you need to rebuild something on the physical plane. Berith. Yeah, focus on material gain, but beware of greed that can turn to dangerous motivation. That's the divination. He has many forms, including flies. Fly on the wall. Also, Maybe associated with Beelzebub or Baal. Something about a magical ring to summon him. He's, in addition to fairly common demonic skills of telling past, present, and future, Bareth is said to have been able to help alchemists turn anything into gold. He's also said to enjoy enticing war and murder. There's perhaps some correlation there, for gold is very often the motive behind war, murder, and other dark deeds. This is definitely about going after. Gold can be and physical world stuff can be about it doesn't necessarily have to mean wealth or money. I'm just saying it can be about having anything physical. It can be about health, maybe, or I don't know, because he likes to incite war and murder, and then your tower reading tarot spread, the lesson is about death. Maybe it means you need to learn to kill things that don't serve you. I'm not saying like actually go out and kill people. I'm talking about sever your relationships if they're not going anywhere. Sever your connections. Sever your financial connections. Cut off things. Cut off people. End shit. Let things die. Don't just let them die. Kill them. Be direct. Burn those bridges. I feel like you really need to focus on you right now, and so everything else needs to fall away. Keep a hold of the things that are most important to you, and let everything else go. Okay? So this could be like in a money-wise situation. This could be, don't try to hold on to something that's barely working. Hold on to what's already working, and pour yourself into that. Pour your strength into that. Look at what's already there and bleed over that. Impale yourself on it, even if it hurts, because it's you and it's necessary and it's really strong and it's a part of you. You have to learn to integrate who you are. Okay? So if you have a skill that you've turned into a career, don't try to go acquire a new skill, okay? Just to have a new career path because your old one seems boring or it wasn't working or it was just being negative. Go further into yourself. That is definitely necessary. That's your reading number 3. I'm very glad you joined me. Do with that information what you will. And I really hope to see you again.